I need that money. I really, really do. I need that money. I really need that money. Really need that money. I need that money. I really, really do. I need that money. I really need that money. Really need that money. Really, that money. That money. I guess this is a good thing. Here's the thing, though, all right? This is what a lot of people still don't understand. Right now, Baldur's Gate 3 is all the rage. And it's all the rage for good reason. Everyone who's playing it on PC is saying it's one of the best RPGs ever made, yada yada. However, it's a PC-centric RPG. So, when you look at Baldur's Gate 3, you have to judge it in the same vein as games like Divinity, right? Or other similar titles. Baldur's Gate 3 is popular right now. But once Starfield hits, you're likely not going to hear anything about Baldur's Gate ever again. I'm sorry, but that's just the way of things. The console-centric games in this generation get all the press, get all the media attention, and get all the hype. Baldur's Gate 3, I'm glad got the coverage that it did, and that everyone has talked about it. I'm happy for that, and I'm glad that it sold like hotcakes on PC, and it was one of the highest played games, concurrent players, and all of that. But I hate to say it, these PC-centric RPGs do not get the traction of mainstream console RPGs. Even if they're better, they don't get the traction. Do you remember when Divinity Original Sin 2 came out, and every PC player said, oh my god, it's the best game ever? Did it even get seriously considered for Game of the Year by anyone? Outside of the PC community, who was talking about it? And by the way, that game absolutely got ported to consoles. Did you hear hype for it? Did you hear buzz about it? And again, there's nothing wrong with it. You know what I'm saying? And again, and already you got idiots in the chat. Oh, you see, he's already giving props to Starfield. I didn't say anything good about Starfield at all. I have not praised Starfield. I'm telling you like it is. Console games that go mainstream get more media attention, get more press, get more publicity, and get more buzz, and get talked about, and even get considered for Game of the Year way more than PC-centric games. So you have to stop with the bullshit and understand the way of reality. It doesn't matter if you live in your PC bubble and all you do is play PC games, so that's all you hear about. That's not reality. Baldur's Gate 3 could literally be the best game of the decade, and it's still not going to get as much attention as a game like Starfield. Okay? You have to understand this. All right? So when I hear things like, oh, it was unfair that Xbox wasn't getting Baldur's Gate 3, but PlayStation is, you have to understand something. In 1 week's time, no one will be talking about Baldur's Gate 3 in the mainstream gaming media. It will as if the game never existed. Because all you're going to hear is Starfield, 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 Starfield. And then Lies of P, Mortal Kombat. And then when October hits, all those new releases that are consoles. You're not going to hear Baldur's Gate 3 whispered once. You may hear it at the end of the year as a Game of the Year contender, and it will not win Game of the Year. It's time to face the facts. This is how it is now. All right? These PC games do not get the hype anymore. I'm sorry. You can fool yourself as much as you would like into thinking one way or the other. But I'm telling you like it is, they don't get the attention anymore. They just don't. If it were a game that were mainstream across all platforms and getting all the hype and getting all the media attention and getting all that, absolutely. But it's like I said a few months ago. This year, or not a few months ago, a few weeks ago. This year is a weird year. All right, and here's why. Because this year, everyone is playing their specific RPG that they love and claiming it's Game of the Year. This started with Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Oh my God, Tears of the Kingdom, so much better than Breath of the Wild. It's innovative, it's amazing, it's gonna get Game of the Year. And then Diablo 4. Oh my God, Diablo 4. It looks so good. It plays like old school Diablo. It's so good. It's a return to form. Diablo 4 is definitely getting Game of the Year. And then Final Fantasy 16. Oh my God. Final Fantasy 16, finally appealing to the masses. They dumbed it down with an awesome combat engine now that plays like Devil May Cry. The graphics, ooh, the story, ooh, the adult story. There's swearing and sex and blood and gore. It's like Game of Thrones plus Final Fantasy. It's everything we ever wanted. Final Fantasy 16, the best game ever, Game of the Year. And then Baldur's Gate 3 came out. Do you understand that none of these games are going to, none of them are a shoo-in for Game of the Year. They can't be. You understand that, right? You get it. And it's just insane because each little isolated community feels like their game is a shoo-in for Game of the Year. Wrong. Wrong. That's not how it works anymore. It's about the money. It's about the publicity. It's about the games media. That's really what gets games propelled into consideration for like a Game of the Year contention. Even if Starfield sucks ass, it's going to be Game of the Year contender. I kid you not. Even if it's a horrible, broken, buggy fucking mess of a piece of shit game, it will still be considered for Game of the Year. Yeah. But I really, really, really find it hard to believe that Baldur's Gate 3 would ever win a Game of the Year. It's a PC-centric game. And it's like people said, it's going to come out on PS5. Oh, but it's coming out on Xbox. No one's going to talk about it. There's other games already coming out that will have all the hype by then. The only way Baldur's Gate 3 was going to get mainstream appeal is if it was all platforms at once in the middle of the summer, then maybe. But it's too late. By the time it comes out on PS5, Xbox, people have moved on and they're playing other games. Baldur's Gate 3 is old news. They're not going to get hyped for the game 2-3 months later. That's not how it works. You know what they say? You always have you only have one chance for a first impression. Baldur's Gate 3 gave its first impression, and that impression was, it's a PC game. It's, and again, I'm not talking shit about Baldur's Gate 3. I respect people who are liking it and enjoying it. If you think it's your game of the year, good for you. I'm happy you're enjoying it. It sounds to me like an amazing game. Sadly, it doesn't fit my content format, but it sounds like an amazing game that I hope you enjoy. But I'm just telling you like it is, and if you disagree, I mean, hey, listen. You could disagree, but I don't want to say I told you so at the end of this year. I really don't. All right? How often at all do PC-centric games win Game of the Year? Again, if it was going to happen, it would have been Divinity Original Sin 2. Did that get Game of the Year? Astro Cyborg says The Witcher 3. Witcher 3 was all across the board, simultaneous release. It got hype on console as well as PC all at once. Everyone was hyped for it at the same time. That's why it got the mainstream appeal that it did. And even then, Witcher 3 didn't get as good as you thought it was. It wasn't until the Witcher TV show came out on Netflix and now it got mainstream attention that then people went back and bought the shit out of it. It wasn't until then. Okay. Anyway.
And now back to your regularly scheduled program.
Game of the year is Baldur's Gate 3.